I'd love to kick it off with one of those examples that you're talking about. Maybe share the example of one of our coaches in coaching mastery community, obviously anonymously, but maybe that'd be a really interesting one to start with because I'm curious about what that situation was.
He will know right off the bat.
But nobody else will know, right?
Nobody else will know. Nobody else would know. So the situation came up like this. So and this is you're going through with a client for it's a 3 month package, and at the end of the session, at the end of the package where he's about to go for a renewal or he's about to make another offer, the client directly says, "I like you." And she has feelings for him and he doesn't know how to respond, and it catches him off guard. And to add to that, she thinks she concluded that based on the way that was happening, which was very odd. So the way it worked out, he created two packages. One was a one-on-one package, the other one was group package. Now he doesn't have a lot of clients, so he told them that you're going to be part of my group coaching. I don't know how he communicated this, but I'm just starting out, so it might just be you. And I'm not clear if he has communicated that or not. But she concluded, based on just her being on those group coaching calls, that he was keeping his other clients away to be close to her.
The irony. Wow.
And it's one of those odd situations. How the hell do you deal with that? And
Wow. That's
so
interesting.
now he is in a conundrum, and he kind of gave her space, but he didn't know how to approach it. So we can talk about how I suggested you could approach it.
Before you tell me how you suggest, I want to just say like my reaction to this and
I know, right?
how I hope I might have handled it. And not that that's the best way. That hasn't happened to me that way before. So that's really interesting. So the context was they got to the end of the coaching session, and then she's like, "Hey, I like you, right? Like romantically or whatever, right?"
Yeah.
So this is one session, or this is multiple sessions or a package, you said?
This was at the end of a 3 month package.
Okay, great. So I think first let's acknowledge the relationship you build with your clients when you do deep coaching work and transformational work can be really powerful and really close and really intimate, for lack of a better word. And so there's a lot of emotions and support that you go through as a client from your coach. And so that's, it's not probably unexpected sometimes for somebody who's in the space of being attracted to that. The question is, what should happen with those feelings, right? And from a coach's perspective, what is ideal here? And I think it's a pretty good rule of thumb to say don't date your clients. But I would think my first impulse would be to actually make time to address that. Like to me, that's a coaching opportunity. Like everything that happens with a client is a coaching opportunity, right? If you think about it. If the client's angry with you, like specifically, I'm talking about if in the relationship with your client, whatever the client says about you or about the coaching relationship or about themselves within that relationship, it's all fodder for coaching because that's coming up because there's something to potentially coach through. Usually, right? If there's something that just like makes you uncomfortable, it's almost certainly a coaching opportunity for the relationship as well as for the person that is doing it. So I would think I would want to say like, hey, let's just take a minute here and acknowledge what just happened. Like just come out and say like, hey, I hear you. I appreciate, that you said that out loud, that you had the courage to share that. And I might actually just talk about that as a thing that happened in the coaching relationship. And so like what would be the ideal way to address this? And like role model, like proper boundary settings and proper like consciousness and intention around it. Because I think if you let it go unspoken and unsaid, then there's this whole awkwardness hanging around and they're like hopeful that things are going to go somewhere. But there's also the coaching relationship that, if you want to keep this client or you don't, that could be a big question too after that. And it would vary depending on the circumstances and context. If I can get them to the place where I feel confident that they understand the relationship and the boundaries, maybe we could continue. But sometimes if I don't, maybe we can't. It's possible. So I think it's really important to hit it head on and respond to it as a human to a human in a coaching context with the opportunity to coach because you already have permission to coach in this situation. So it's like, to me, it's not necessarily wrong that they said that. Like, I don't see like somebody being attracted to me as a coach being wrong. Like they're attracted to what they're attracted to based on the relationship. But if you can be super clear with like, hey, that happened. That's not, so for me, I have a wife, I have kids. I am not interested in pursuing any kind of relationship there. So my context, and I don't know what their context is. My context is no, there's no entertaining of where that could lead. Just zero. And it's, I think I'd be pretty obvious and clear about it, because I talk about my wife and kids in our relationship in coaching a fair bit. So by the time they got to the end of a 3 month with me, or even a 6 month or whatever, they had heard from it multiple times about how my relationship is working and what we can apply in the coaching environment and stuff. So I would think that it would be very hard for them to get to that point to think that that's an okay thing to say. And if they did, I feel pretty confident I'd be able to bring it back and be like, let's talk about this from a coaching lens, right? Because that's the you always have the safety of the coaching lens. If anybody violates a boundary, there's a coaching opportunity, a coaching lens you can apply to it because you have permission there. So that would be my initial reaction. I don't know the exact words that I would use, but that's kind of where I go with it.